Beloved, as you awaken this morning, know that you have entered a new chapter in the book of your life. Yesterday is gone, and today is fresh and untouched, waiting for the words you will speak, the thoughts you will hold, and the vision you will sustain. Take a slow, deep breath and feel the life of God filling your lungs. Let the stillness of this morning remind you that all is well, all is provided for, all is arranged in perfect order. The sun rises for you, the air moves for you, the whole universe turns in your favor when you are in harmony with divine law. Let the cares of yesterday slip away like shadows in the light. You are not here to repeat old lack. You are here to receive new supply. Right now, the currents of divine substance are flowing toward you, streams of ideas, channels of provision, perfect connections. You need not force them. You only need to open to them, and you open by agreement. Agree now that today will be a day of abundance, a day of favor, a day where the invisible hand of God delivers exactly what is yours by divine right. See yourself standing in the morning light. Golden rays touch your face, and each ray is a stream of supply. Feel that warmth enter your heart, spreading through your body, bringing with it a sense of calm confidence. In this light, there is no hurry, no worry, no strain. It is done. Your word has already been received. Your good is already prepared. As you breathe, say softly in your spirit, I am one with the infinite supply. All that is mine by divine right now appears under grace in perfect ways. Feel those words settle in you like seeds in fertile soil. Your mind is the gate, and today you keep it open only to thoughts that bless. If a thought of fear approaches, you simply say, I do not plant you, and you let it pass. You plant only what you desire to see grow. You plant joy by giving thanks. You plant wealth by speaking it as here and now. You plant peace by resting in the truth that all is unfolding for your highest good. Hear these words and let them be your own. I am rich in thought, rich in love, rich in faith. Money is my servant. I am not its servant. It comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. Every channel is free and clear. No man can block what is mine by divine right. No circumstance can delay what is already appointed to appear. I live in harmony with the law, and the law delivers to me daily. See yourself moving through your day with ease. Every encounter is pleasant. Every exchange is balanced. Every decision is guided. You give without fear, and you receive without guilt. Money flows to you as easily as the tide comes to shore, and you welcome it with joy, knowing it blesses you and blesses others. The more you bless it, the more faithfully it returns. Let gratitude rise in you now, not for what will come, but for what is already present in the unseen. Say in your heart, I give thanks for my overflowing supply. I give thanks for the perfect work, the perfect ideas, the perfect opportunities that meet me today. I give thanks for the divine protection, divine guidance, and divine timing that never fail. Gratitude is the perfume of answered prayer. It proves to the law that you have already received. And as you step into this day, remember that you are the architect of your experience. What you think, you build. What you speak, you call forth. What you feel, you magnetize. Choose only the thoughts you wish to see solidified. Speak only the words you wish to live. Feel only the abundance you wish to welcome. Carry this knowing like a lamp before you. My supply is secure. My day is blessed. My good is certain. Now, breathe deeply once more. See the light around you grow brighter, the streams of supply growing fuller. Walk into this day with the quiet assurance that everything you need is already on its way to you, and everything you give returns multiplied. You are in the flow, and the flow is endless. What is yours will not pass you by. Beloved, as you move deeper into this morning, Let the truth settle into every part of your being. Today is not an accident. This day has been prepared for you, and you have been prepared for it. Every step you take will meet the right people, the right ideas, the right provisions, because divine law cannot fail. There is no shortage in God's storehouse, and you are the rightful heir to all that is good. Release every thought that tells you there is not enough. Those thoughts are lies with no power except the power you give them. Let them dissolve now, and in their place plant the unwavering truth, there is always enough for me. See yourself surrounded by an atmosphere of plenty. It stretches beyond the walls of your home, beyond the city you live in, beyond the edges of what you can see. This abundance is not dependent on your job, your bank balance, or another person's opinion. It is rooted in the infinite. The supply is already here, circulating freely, and you are part of that perfect circulation. As you take in the breath of this morning, you take in the breath of divine substance. Every inhale draws more supply into your experience. Every exhale releases gratitude into the world. Say within yourself, all channels are open to me. All gates are unlocked for me. I am surrounded by divine activity working for my good. Feel the ease of that knowing. You do not have to chase what is yours. It comes to you because it knows your name. It recognizes your vibration. It is tied to you by divine appointment. When you speak your word in faith, that word goes out and finds the form that matches it. It is working for you right now, even in places you cannot see. As you walk into this day, imagine the ground before you lighting up with each step you take. These lights are opportunities, connections, blessings prepared in advance. You do not have to force them. They appear naturally in the flow of your life. You are not working against the current. You are carried by it. Each moment is bringing you closer to the visible demonstration of what is already yours in the invisible. Affirm this quietly but with conviction. I am an open vessel for divine supply. Money flows to me in perfect ways. Ideas flow to me in perfect ways. Love flows to me in perfect ways. I live in the rhythm of giving and receiving, and I am always in balance. Let these words wash over you like waves, cleansing away any trace of worry or resistance. The more you rest in this truth, the faster it becomes visible in your affairs. Beloved, remember that divine timing is not delay. The moment you spoke your word, it was done in spirit. The time you are in now is simply the unfolding, the divine arrangement of people, places, and events, so that when your good appears, it is perfect and complete. Do not disturb the process with doubt. Keep blessing it with gratitude. Keep speaking as if it is already here. You are the keeper of the vibration, and the vibration is the signal that draws your supply. This morning, decide to walk as one who already holds the answer, already lives in the manifestation, already enjoys the result. Let your words today reflect the certainty of your spirit. Speak increase, speak ease, speak joy, and the day will shape itself to match your decree. Beloved, let us go further into this sacred morning, for the soil of your mind is rich and ready. What you plant now will rise to meet you in the hours ahead. Every thought is a seed, and the law does not question which you choose. It simply grows what you tend. If you plant peace, peace will walk beside you today. If you plant wealth, wealth will find its way into your hands. The soil does not argue, and it does not delay. It answers to the seed, and the seed answers to the sower. You are the sower of your life, and this morning you choose your crop with care. Take a slow breath and see the field of your day stretching wide before you, waiting for your planting. Let your words be the seeds of plenty. Whisper to yourself now, I plant abundance in every direction of my life. I plant joy in every encounter. I plant success in every task. These seeds are alive with divine substance, and they cannot fail to bear fruit. Notice how the light of this morning rests gently on everything it touches. It makes no judgment, it shines on all. The divine light works in the same way. It pours equally into the seeds of lack and the seeds of abundance. That is why you must choose with wisdom what you allow to grow. If a weed of doubt appears in your thoughts, pluck it up quickly and replace it with a seed of faith. If a memory of failure tries to root itself, replace it at once with the vision of your success, already accomplished, already celebrated. Say within yourself, I tend my garden with love. I water my desires with faith. I harvest only what I wish to see. You are not at the mercy of the seasons. You are aligned with the law that governs them. This means your harvest can come swiftly, abundantly, and in perfect order. The old crop of lack is fading because you no longer feed it. The new crop of supply is already sprouting because you bless it daily. As you move into this day, let every thought be a conscious planting. When you see another's success, bless it and plant the same for yourself. When you exchange words with others, speak as one scattering seeds of goodwill and increase. What you give, you grow. What you bless, you multiply. Your life today will reflect the garden you have cultivated in thought and feeling. And so, beloved, as you step forward, keep your hands open and your heart steady. The divine gardener walks with you, ensuring that every good seed you plant will find perfect soil, perfect weather, and perfect timing. Your part is simply to plant, to water with gratitude, and to trust that the harvest is certain. Beloved, know this: the size and shape of your blessing are determined by the mold you hold in mind. You cannot pour a river into a narrow cup, and you cannot receive a fortune into a belief shaped like lack. The law of supply is generous beyond measure, but it will only fill the form you present to it. If your thought is small, the flow will appear small. If your thought is vast, the flow will meet you in the same measure. This morning, you are called to widen your mold. See yourself now as a vessel, open and ready to receive. Feel yourself expanding in thought, in expectation, in trust. If you have been accustomed to thinking in just enough, stretch it now to more than enough. If you have been used to hoping for a little extra, expand it to overflow. The universe does not ration. It responds to the form you create. Speak within yourself. I am a generous, capable vessel. My capacity to receive is endless. I am safe in abundance, and I handle it with wisdom and joy. Let these words be the shaping tools in the unseen. Each time you repeat them, you strengthen the walls of your mold. You make it strong enough to hold greater and greater good without fear of collapse. Your words, your thoughts, your feelings. These are not decorations. They are the dimensions of your mold. When you say, I can't manage more, you shrink it. When you say, I am ready for more, you enlarge it. When you feel unworthy, you weaken it. When you feel gratitude, you fortify it. This is why I urge you to keep your inner speech pure and in agreement with what you truly desire. See yourself now holding a vessel so wide and steady that divine substance flows into it without strain. It fills quickly, easily, naturally. There is no grasping, no fear of loss, only the calm assurance that what fills you today can and will fill you again tomorrow. The mold is not made once. It is shaped every day by the way you think and speak. If doubt knocks, do not let it warp your form. Simply return to your decree, under grace in perfect ways. My supply fills the form I hold. If fear whispers, this is too much for you, answer, increase fits me. I am at home in abundance. Hold the pattern steady, and the flow will match it. The divine cannot resist a clear, ready mold. It must fill it to the brim and beyond. Beloved, you have now been reminded of the truth. You are the sower, the gardener, the architect, and the vessel. The invisible laws are not far from you. They live within you, and they answer you with precision. This very morning, you have planted seeds of abundance, widened your mold, and aligned yourself with the flow of divine supply. What you have set in motion cannot fail, for the law is exact, and it always delivers according to the pattern you hold. Carry this knowing into every hour of your day. Let your words be steady, your thoughts be clean, and your feelings be rich with gratitude. If a moment of doubt comes, do not linger there, return at once to your decree. All that is mine by divine right now appears under grace in perfect ways. Let this be the music playing in the background of your life, so that even in quiet moments you are creating. Know that you are not waiting for abundance. It is waiting for you to open fully, and today you have opened. The channels are clear, the gates are unlocked, and your good is moving toward you now. Walk in this day as one who already holds the answer, for in truth you do. Now, beloved, if this meditation has stirred something in your heart, act upon it. Speak your decree aloud in the comments so we may agree together in faith. Share these words with someone you love, that they too may walk in the light of divine supply. Like this message to seal it in your spirit, and subscribe so we may continue to meet here morning after morning, to plant and to harvest. Your word is your wand, use it well today, and watch as the unseen shapes itself into the life you have claimed under grace in perfect ways.
There is one thought exercise that can completely rewrite your life in just 3 days. Not 3 months, not 3 years, 3 days. This is not guesswork, and it is not motivation. It is a spiritual law. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Change your thoughts, and you change your destiny." And she meant it. Most people are living in cycles they did not choose, not because they lack faith, but because they do not understand the power of one focused thought. Your mind is a magnet. It is broadcasting every second, pulling to you the very pictures you hold. And right now, whether you realize it or not, your thoughts are shaping your life, like an architect draws blueprints for a building. If you want to know why some people rise effortlessly, while others stay stuck, look not at their talent or resources, but at the images they play over and over in their mind. The world is responding to your thoughts as faithfully as a mirror reflects your face. And if you are tired of seeing the same reflection, it is time to change the picture. This exercise will show you how to do it, and you will not have to wait long to see proof. The mind is like a garden, and every thought is a seed. Most people plant seeds of fear without even realizing it. They wake up thinking about bills, problems, and failures from yesterday. They repeat those thoughts like a mantra, and life simply grows what they plant. But for the next 3 days, I will teach you to plant something different. For 3 days, you will train your mind to hold one powerful thought that will override years of negativity. And when you do, you will see evidence that spiritual law is real. Why 3 days? Because 3 is the number of resurrection, the number of alignment, and the number of completion. Even science tells us that consistent focus for a short, intense period rewires the brain. Spiritually, 3 days is all it takes to shift energy and call in blessings that have been waiting for you. Florence often said that your word and your thought are spiritual weapons. They can break cycles that years of struggle could not. Beloved, this is not difficult. It is not complicated. It is simple, and that is why it works. If you will give me 3 days, I will give you a method to reset your mind, attract opportunities, and step into the life you have been praying for. This is your moment to prove the power of thought, to prove the law and to see with your own eyes what faith-filled focus can do. Pay attention, because this could be the teaching that shifts everything for you. Your thoughts are not random. They are not harmless. They are creative power. Every single thought you hold is a vibration, a message sent out to the universe, and it always comes back multiplied. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving, and that truth explains why so many people remain stuck. If you keep seeing yourself struggling, if you keep imagining disappointment, if you keep repeating fearful thoughts, your life will simply reflect what is already pictured in your mind. This is because your mind is not just a place where ideas come and go. It is a spiritual magnet. It attracts exactly what is in harmony with its dominant thoughts. You are like a broadcasting tower, constantly sending out signals. The world around you is a faithful mirror, reflecting back to you the energy you are carrying. That is why two people can live in the same city, work in similar jobs, and have completely different lives. One is attracting abundance and opportunities, the other is stuck in lack. The difference is not luck or talent. The difference is thought. Florence taught that your thoughts are prayers. Even when your mouth is silent, your mind is praying constantly. If you are filled with fear and worry, you are praying for more fear and worry. If you are filled with faith and gratitude, you are praying for more peace and blessings. Your mind is like the soil of a garden, and it will grow whatever you plant. Most people are not deliberately choosing their thoughts. They are allowing old fears, memories, and patterns to run their mind, and those patterns are creating their circumstances. This is why thought training is the most important spiritual work you will ever do. The Bible says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." That is not a poetic phrase, it is spiritual law. What you think repeatedly becomes what you believe, and what you believe becomes your life. If you want to change your life, you must first change your thoughts. And this 3-day exercise is designed to do exactly that. Your subconscious mind plays a massive role in this process. Florence often compared the subconscious to a servant that never questions, never argues, and never sleeps. It only obeys. It accepts every thought and word you repeat, especially when charged with emotion, and begins to create experiences that match. If you constantly think, "I am unlucky," your subconscious makes sure you find proof. If you constantly say, "Money is hard to get," your subconscious works to keep money scarce. But when you feed it a new thought, repeated daily with faith, it accepts this new truth and begins reshaping your life to align with it. Most people underestimate this power because they expect instant results without consistency. They say an affirmation once and see no change, so they quit. But Florence taught that persistence is faith. When you choose one powerful thought and hold it for 3 days with unwavering focus, you are sending a clear, consistent signal to the universe. You are training your subconscious to let go of fear and embrace truth. That signal becomes so strong that it begins to override the noise of years of negative thinking. Your thoughts are also magnetic because they create your energy field, or aura. People can sense it. Opportunities can sense it. Life responds to it. When your aura is filled with fear, people feel it even if you never say a word. But when your aura is filled with peace and confidence, it draws help, favor, and provision to you like a magnet. This is why Florence said that man's only enemies are his own negative thoughts. Change the thoughts, and you change the energy. Change the energy, and you change the life. Beloved, do not let your thoughts run wild. They are your servants, not your masters. The most powerful men and women are not those with the most talent, but those who know how to master their mind. They decide what to think, and their world bends to that decision. This 3-day challenge is your training ground. For 3 days, you will focus your mind on one truth, so strongly that your subconscious will begin to accept it as fact. And once it accepts it, your reality will begin to shift to match it. Say this now: "My thoughts are not random, they are powerful. I choose thoughts of abundance, and abundance chooses me. I choose peace, and peace surrounds me. I choose faith, and miracles follow me." Repeat it until you feel its truth. This is how you begin. This is how you train your mind to create the life you desire. The mind is like a sponge. It absorbs what you feed it, and over time, it begins to produce whatever you have poured into it. Most people underestimate this truth because they believe change has to take months or years. But Florence Scovel Shinn often said, "The invisible forces are always working in your favor the moment you align your mind with truth." This is why even 3 days of focused thought can create a noticeable shift. When you concentrate on one powerful thought for a set time, you are sending a clear, unbroken signal to your subconscious and to the universe. That signal has no choice but to begin creating a response. Your mind loves repetition. The subconscious mind does not question whether a statement is true or false. It simply believes whatever you tell it over and over. If you have spent years repeating negative thoughts, "I am unlucky," "I am not good enough," "Life is hard," your subconscious has accepted those statements as fact and is shaping your life around them. But the moment you choose a new thought and focus on it consistently, you begin to rewrite the programming of your subconscious. And here's the incredible part: the subconscious responds fastest to repetition combined with faith and emotion. That means if you truly commit to this exercise for 3 days, you can break through layers of negative thinking that have been holding you back for years. Florence understood this and often gave her students simple affirmations to repeat daily. She once told a man who was drowning in debt to declare every day, "God is my supply, and large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways." He repeated this daily, even when it felt untrue. After just a few days, unexpected money appeared to cover a bill he thought he could never pay. That small breakthrough built his faith, and within weeks, his finances had turned completely around. The 3-day exercise works because it compresses this process into a short, focused time frame, allowing you to see proof quickly and strengthen your faith. The brain itself has something called neuroplasticity, which means it can be rewired with consistent thoughts. Spiritually, this aligns perfectly with Florence's teaching that what you focus on expands. 3 days of focused thought is enough to interrupt old mental patterns and create a new one. Think of it like carving a groove into a record. Each time you repeat a thought, you deepen the groove, making it easier for your mind to follow that path naturally. After 3 days of intense repetition, your mind will start moving toward faith instead of fear, abundance instead of lack, and confidence instead of doubt. Consistency is also powerful because it tells the spiritual world that you are serious. Most people pray one day and worry the next, sending mixed signals. They affirm abundance in the morning but speak lack by afternoon. Spiritual law responds to faith, and faith is proven through persistence. By committing to speak and think one powerful truth for 3 days without wavering, you are showing heaven and earth that you are aligned with this truth. Florence often said, "Faith without persistence is just a wish." This challenge is your way of proving your faith through persistence, even if it's just for 3 days. The number 3 is significant in spiritual law. 3 represents divine completeness. Jesus rose on the 3rd day. Jonah was delivered after 3 days in the belly of the fish. Over and over, Scripture shows that 3 days is enough time for God to complete a work, deliver a message, or bring transformation. This exercise uses that same principle. By committing to 3 days, you are declaring that change is not a distant hope, but a present reality. Florence believed that even a short period of concentrated thought could change your aura, your energy field, and the way the world responds to you. When you think the same empowering thought repeatedly, your energy becomes consistent, and consistent energy draws consistent blessings. People will notice something different about you. You will walk with more confidence, speak with more clarity, and attract opportunities with greater ease. This is not magic. This is law. Beloved, this is your invitation to prove spiritual truth for yourself. For 3 days, you will choose one thought, just one, and hold it as if your life depends on it. When fear rises, repeat the thought. When doubt whispers, repeat the thought. When you feel discouraged, repeat the thought. By the 3rd day, something in you will shift. You will feel a peace that makes no sense. You will notice signs of breakthrough. And once you see that, You will understand that your thoughts are not weak. They are the most powerful force you have been given. Say this with me now. I choose one thought and I hold it with faith. My mind is focused, my spirit is strong, and I am aligning with divine truth. Speak it and believe it, because this simple act of consistency will begin a transformation you can feel in just 3 days. Now that you understand the power of your thoughts and the importance of consistency, it's time to learn the exact exercise. This is simple, but deeply powerful. Florence Scovel Shinn believed that simple practices, when done with faith, have the power to shift everything. If you will commit to this process for just 3 days, you will feel the change in your spirit and see evidence in your life. Here's how it works. Step 1. Choose one powerful thought. You must select one thought that aligns with divine truth. This thought will be your focus for the next 3 days. It should be simple, clear, and filled with faith. Here are a few examples. I am divinely guided and richly supplied. Everything I desire is already mine. God is my source, and I always have more than enough. I am a magnet for miracles and blessings. Choose the one that resonates deeply with you. You are not choosing a random affirmation. You are choosing a spiritual truth that heaven already agrees with. Write this thought on a card or in your phone. This is your declaration of power. Step 2. Morning focus. Each morning, before you check your phone or speak to anyone, sit in a quiet place and speak your chosen thought out loud 3 times. Say it slowly, with conviction, as if it's already true. Then close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and imagine yourself living in the reality of that thought. If your affirmation is, I am richly supplied, picture your bank account full, your bills paid, and opportunities coming easily. If your affirmation is, I am divinely guided, imagine yourself walking confidently, doors opening for you, and peace leading every decision. Feel it deeply. Spend at least 5 minutes holding this image and repeating your thoughts silently. Let it soak into your spirit. Step 3. Midday reset. At least once in the middle of your day, stop for a moment to reset your energy. Repeat your chosen thought 3 times out loud, even if it's quietly to yourself. This keeps your mind anchored in faith when distractions come. If fear or doubt rises during the day, immediately speak your thought again. Florence taught that every negative word or fear must be instantly canceled with truth. By doing this, you are retraining your mind to default to faith instead of fear. Step 4. Evening visualization. Before bed, repeat the process. Speak your thought out loud 3 times, close your eyes, and visualize it again as if it's already real. Then drift to sleep holding that picture. Your subconscious mind is most active while you sleep, and the last thought you focus on becomes its blueprint for the night. This means that even in your dreams, you will be aligning with your desired reality. Step 5. Speak it in moments of doubt. Whenever a negative thought appears, say your affirmation. If fear says, you'll never succeed, respond instantly with, I am divinely guided and richly supplied. This is how you uproot old patterns and replace them with truth. Florence said, the subconscious is like a faithful servant. It takes every order you give it. So give it only truth. Step 6. Gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 blessings or signs you noticed. They don't have to be big. It could be a smile from a stranger, unexpected kindness, or a sense of peace. These are proof that your energy is shifting. Gratitude magnifies your blessings and accelerates results. Daily decrease repeat. After, meet. Let's seal this exercise with a declaration you'll say every morning and night. I am divinely guided and richly supplied. Everything I desire is already mine. Doors swing wide open for me now. I am surrounded by peace, love, and abundance. Every thought I think is a seed of blessing. I call in every good thing that belongs to me, and it comes now under grace in perfect ways. Repeat this 3 times each session. Speak it boldly, slowly, and with authority. Beloved, if you do this with faith for 3 days, you will feel the difference. Your energy will shift, your confidence will rise, and opportunities will begin to appear. Florence often said that a single thought, when held with faith, is more powerful than years of worry. These 3 days are your opportunity to prove this truth for yourself. Start tomorrow morning. Commit fully. Watch for signs. And remember, once you see even the smallest evidence that your thoughts are changing your reality, you will know that you are never powerless. 3 days might not sound like much, but spiritually, 3 is a number of transformation. In Scripture, Jesus rose on the 3rd day. Jonah was delivered after 3 days in the belly of the fish. Paul regained his sight after 3 days of blindness. Over and over, 3 represents resurrection, alignment, and completion. It is a divine signal that something is being reset and renewed. When you commit to holding one powerful thought for 3 days, you are stepping into that same spiritual law. You are giving God 3 days of agreement, and in that agreement, miracles are set in motion. Florence Scovel Shinn often said that your words and thoughts are like boomerangs. They always return to you multiplied. If you have spent months or even years thinking fear, speaking doubt, and expecting struggle, you have built a pattern in your subconscious mind. But patterns can be broken, and 3 days of unwavering focus is enough to crack the old cycle and create a new one. It doesn't take years to begin changing your reality. It takes faith and persistence. Florence taught that the law of attraction is immediate once faith is involved. When you focus your energy for 3 consecutive days, you are flooding your subconscious with a single, powerful instruction, and the shift begins instantly. Why 3 days? Because the mind needs consistency to create momentum. On the first day, you are breaking ground. You are planting a seed of truth in soil that may have been neglected or overrun with weeds of fear and doubt. On the second day, you are watering that seed, giving it strength and power. By the third day, you will begin to feel something stirring inside you, a calm confidence, a sense of hope, or even small signs that your world is rearranging. That is the power of spiritual focus. Your subconscious mind does not know time. It only knows repetition and belief. That means it doesn't matter how long you've believed something negative, you can begin rewriting that belief quickly by repeating a new truth with conviction. When you hold one thought for 3 days, you are overriding the noise of fear and sending a clear signal to your subconscious. You are telling it, this is who I am now. This is what I believe now. This is my new reality. And once your subconscious accepts it, your actions, energy, and opportunities begin to shift automatically. Florence shared a story of a woman who felt completely hopeless about her finances. She had been told for years that she would always struggle, and she had accepted that belief as her truth. Florence gave her a simple affirmation: God is my supply, and large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways. She told her to speak it consistently, to hold that picture in her mind for 3 days straight without letting fear take over. On the second day, the woman felt a sense of peace she couldn't explain. On the third day, she received unexpected money that covered a bill she had been dreading. That breakthrough was enough to show her that her words were powerful, and she never doubted again. This is why 3 days is so significant. It is long enough to create a crack in your old mental walls and allow light to come through. It is long enough to experience proof that this law works, and that proof builds faith. Faith then accelerates results. Once your spirit has tasted evidence that your words and thoughts create your reality, you become unstoppable. Another reason 3 days is enough is because of the spiritual law of expectation. When you give yourself a 3-day challenge, you create a sense of urgency and anticipation. You are not casually trying this out, you are committed. That energy of expectancy is magnetic. It tells the universe, I am ready now. And the universe responds. Florence said that faith is expectancy. Expectancy is faith in action, and 3 days of expectancy is enough to create visible shifts in your life. Beloved, understand this. Your life does not have to take months or years to change. You are one thought, one belief, and one decision away from a completely different reality. 3 days of focus is all it takes to prove it to yourself. This is not about magic. It is about spiritual law. The same law that says gravity will always pull you down says that your dominant thought will always pull your blessings toward you. When you commit to focusing your mind for 3 days, you are stepping into agreement with that law. Say this now: I believe in the power of 3 days. In 3 days, I will see proof. In 3 days, I will feel peace. In 3 days, my life begins to shift. Speak it with conviction, because the moment you decide to believe, the transformation begins. 3 days is enough to open your eyes, lift your faith, and set your life on a new path. All you have to do is start. Faith becomes unshakable when you see proof, and proof always follows persistence. Florence Scovel Shinn filled her books with stories of ordinary people who experienced extraordinary miracles simply by holding a single thought or affirmation with unwavering faith. These testimonies were not written to entertain, they were written to show that spiritual law is exact. If it worked for them, it will work for you. Florence once shared the story of a man whose life was collapsing financially. He was buried under debt, struggling with fear, and felt there was no way out. When he came to Florence, she gave him a simple instruction. For the next 3 days, speak this truth morning and night: God is my supply. Large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways. He agreed, though his mind was filled with doubt. On the second day, he noticed a shift. He felt calmer, more at peace, even though nothing had changed outwardly. On the third day, a client he had not heard from in months called with a major order, giving him enough money to cover his overdue bills. That small breakthrough ignited his faith. He continued speaking that truth daily, and within weeks, his finances were completely restored. He later said, "It felt as though my words were working behind the scenes, rearranging my life." Another story was of a woman desperate to sell her house. Months went by with no interest, and she grew discouraged. Florence told her to declare, "This house is a perfect expression of divine love and attracts its right buyer." The woman repeated it several times a day, visualizing her home already sold. On the third day, a buyer came forward unexpectedly and offered exactly what she wanted. The woman said she felt a sudden peace on that third morning, as though something had already shifted in the unseen. That peace was her first sign that her words had been heard. Florence also wrote about a young woman who wanted to work in the fashion industry but had no connections and very little experience. Florence told her, "Picture yourself in your perfect position. Say, I have a perfect work in a perfect way. I give perfect service for perfect pay." The young woman focused on that statement faithfully for 3 days, repeating it throughout the day and visualizing herself working in her dream job. On the third day, a friend she hadn't seen in years reached out with a job lead. Within a week, she was hired by a well-known company. She later said, "It felt like doors opened out of nowhere." These stories prove something vital: your thoughts and words are not empty. They are spiritual power in motion. When you focus on one truth for even a short time, you begin to shift the energy around you. Florence often said, "Faith and fear both demand you believe in something you cannot see. Choose faith." The people in her stories chose faith, and the results came quickly. Your miracle may not look exactly like theirs, but you will see signs. It might be a sudden sense of peace, an inspired idea, or a message from someone unexpected. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your words are working. 3 days of focus is not just about getting a breakthrough. It's about proving to yourself that spiritual law is real. Once you see even a small result, your faith will grow stronger, and your words will carry more authority. Many people give up too quickly. They speak affirmations for a day or two, then stop when they don't see immediate results. Florence taught that faith is persistence. She said, "The law of expectancy is always working. When man expects good, he receives good. When he expects evil, he receives evil." This 3-day exercise is training your mind to expect good, and that expectation is magnetic. Beloved, if you feel wary, take courage. You do not need to fix your entire life in one moment. All you need to do is hold one powerful thought for 3 days. Speak it, visualize it, and believe it. The proof will come, because divine law never fails. These stories are not special cases. They are examples of what happens when anyone aligns their mind with truth. Say this now. If it worked for them, it will work for me. My miracle is already on its way. My words have power, and I am seeing proof. Repeat this until you believe it. Because in 3 days, you will not just have heard stories. You will have your own testimony to share. Now it is time to seal this teaching with a decree that will become the heartbeat of your 3-day challenge. Florence Scovel Shinn believed that words spoken with faith carry a creative force so strong that nothing in the visible world can resist them. She often said, "Your word is your wand, and this decree is your spiritual tool to call in miracles, reprogram your subconscious mind, and align with divine supply." Speak these words boldly, morning and night, and watch your life respond. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. Say these words after me. I am a child of the infinite. I was created in abundance, and I live in abundance now. My mind is powerful, my spirit is strong, and my path is clear. I am guided in every decision I make. I am protected, provided for, and deeply loved. Every thought I think today is a seed of blessing, and those blessings return to me multiplied. I release all fear, all doubt, and all struggle. I forgive myself completely, and I forgive every person who has ever hurt me. I walk in freedom, faith, and favor. Say it again slowly, and let every word sink deep. I am a child of the infinite. I was created in abundance, and I live in abundance now. My mind is powerful, my spirit is strong, and my path is clear. I am guided in every decision I make. I am protected, provided for, and deeply loved. Every thought I think today is a seed of blessing, and those blessings return to me multiplied. I release all fear, all doubt, and all struggle. I forgive myself completely, and I forgive every person who has ever hurt me. I walk in freedom, faith, and favor. Now speak this with conviction. All that is mine by divine right flows to me now. Doors swing wide open for me, opportunities find me, and provision comes quickly, under grace, in perfect ways. I am aligned with God's perfect plan. I am a magnet for miracles. I expect good, and good is all I will see. My mind is a garden of faith, and I water it with truth every day. The law of divine supply is working for me now, and it can never fail. Pause, take another deep breath, and repeat, all that is mine by divine right flows to me now. Doors swing wide open for me, opportunities find me, and provision comes quickly under grace, in perfect ways. I am aligned with God's perfect plan. I am a magnet for miracles. I expect good, and good is all I will see. My mind is a garden of faith, and I water it with truth every day. The law of divine supply is working for me now, and it can never fail. Let us seal this with a simple but powerful statement. Say this 3 times with full authority. I bless this day. I bless my life. I bless my future. It is done. It is done. Beloved, you have just spoken words that will not return void. They are seeds planted in the rich soil of your subconscious mind, and they will grow. This 3-day challenge is your proof that you are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of your experience through thought and word. Every time you speak this decree, you are training your energy to expect miracles. You are shifting the atmosphere around you so that opportunities, provision, and favor are drawn to you like a magnet. Do not take these next 3 days lightly. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes each morning to listen to this decree and speak it out loud. Write your chosen affirmation on paper and carry it with you. Anytime fear tries to enter your mind, cancel it immediately by speaking truth. Florence taught that a fearless mind creates a fearless life, and a fearless life attracts everything good. Here is your call to action. Commit to this 3-day challenge fully. Replay this video every morning and night. Speak these words as if they are already true, because in the spiritual world they are. Keep your heart open for signs. It might come as an unexpected email, a small gift, a sense of peace, or a surprising opportunity. These are proofs that your faith is working and that divine order is unfolding. At the end of your 3 days, come back and share your testimony. Your story will inspire others to step into their own faith journey. Remember, what you prove for yourself, you prove for the world. You are not just speaking words, you are rewriting your destiny. Say this once more. I bless this day. I bless my life. I bless my future. It is done. It is done. It is done, and so it is.
They say millionaires sleep differently. But it's not what you think. It's not the thread count of their sheets, or the brand of their mattress, or some secret 8-hour cycle that unlocks prosperity. It's not about biohacking or expensive supplements or sound machines that mimic the rain. The secret is something far more subtle, far more powerful, and far more accessible to you right now, tonight, in the quiet sanctuary of your own room. The secret to attracting wealth, to commanding abundance, to truly transforming your financial reality from the inside out, isn't found in more work. It isn't found in more hustle, more spreadsheets, or more frantic striving. It is found in the final 5 minutes of your day, in that sacred, silent, liminal space between wakefulness and dreaming, that holy moment when the conscious mind, the worrier, the doubter, the inner critic who has been shouting all day, finally begins to grow tired. Its voice becomes a whisper. Its grip begins to loosen. And the subconscious mind, the master architect, the silent designer, the great fertile soil of your soul, leans in to listen. It opens completely without judgment or resistance to receive its final instruction for the night, its blueprint for the next 8 hours of creation, its sacred orders for the reality it will begin to build for you while you rest. What instruction are you giving it? When the lights go out and your head hits the pillow, what is the last story you tell yourself? In that final drowsy moment, what is the final whisper you offer into the fertile darkness of your own mind? Because that whisper, that final lingering thought soaked in the emotion of the day, it becomes a command, a sacred decree, a seed that will be planted and watered and tended to all night long, deep in the soil of your soul, ready to sprout in the morning light of your reality. This is the rarely discussed, yet profoundly powerful truth of creation. This is the millionaire's secret. It is not a secret of doing. It is a secret of being, and it begins the moment you decide to close your eyes. The core teaching, the foundational law that governs this entire process, was spoken with such clarity by the great spiritual teacher Florence Scovel Shinn. She understood the immense, untapped power sleeping within each of us. She saw the subconscious not as a mystery, but as a mechanism. She taught, in her direct and unwavering way, that the subconscious mind is your faithful servant, but one must be careful to give it the right orders. Let those words sink in. Your faithful servant. This changes everything. This power inside you is not your enemy. It is not a trickster. It is not a random force of chaos that brings you misfortune. It is a loyal, powerful, and deeply obedient partner whose only function is to bring into form the pictures and commands you give it. Imagine it as a partner in a sacred dance. It cannot lead. It can only follow your steps. If your steps are hesitant, fearful, and chaotic, it will mirror that chaos back to you with perfect precision. If your steps become deliberate, graceful, and confident, it will respond in kind, creating a beautiful, harmonious dance. It has no sense of humor. It does not judge whether your command is good for you or bad for you, whether it is empowering or limiting. It only knows how to obey. It is pure, creative energy, awaiting direction. And the most potent time to give that direction is in the quiet stillness of the night, when all the resistance and arguments of the conscious mind finally fade away, leaving a clear channel for your truest instruction to be received. Imagine your subconscious is this loyal partner, this master architect, and every night, before you drift off to sleep, you hand this partner a blueprint. You give it the plans for what it is to build in your life while you rest. For so many of us, without ever realizing it, we are handing our partner the blueprints for lack, the blueprints for struggle, the blueprints for not enough. We spend our last waking moments in a ritual of worry. We replay the arguments of the day. We tally up the bills we cannot pay, feeling the familiar knot of dread tighten in our stomachs. We stare at the frightening emptiness in our bank account, the numbers on the screen glowing like an accusation in the dark. We remember past failures and brace for future ones. And with each worried thought, with each fearful replay, we are drawing a meticulous line on that blueprint. A line that says, create more of this anxiety. A line that says, this feeling of being behind is my truth. This is the reality I expect. A line that commands, go out into the world and find me more evidence tomorrow that I am not safe, that I am not supported, that I do not have enough. And that faithful servant, your obedient partner, takes these chaotic, fear-drenched blueprints and says, with infinite love and zero judgment, yes, as you wish. And it works all night long. It tunes your energetic frequency to the vibration of lack. It aligns synchronicities that match your expectation of struggle. It subtly influences your choices and perceptions for the following day, preparing a stage set perfectly for the drama of not enough to play out once more. So you wake up in the morning, feeling a little heavier, a little more anxious, without knowing why. You go about your day, and sure enough, an unexpected bill arrives in the mail. A client you were counting on cancels. The car makes a strange, expensive-sounding noise. You have a difficult conversation about money that leaves you feeling small and powerless. And you think to yourself, see, I knew it. Life is a struggle. Money is hard. You believe you are simply observing reality. But you are not. You are observing the magnificent, flawless construction built from the very blueprints you provided the night before. Let's make this even more real. Let's walk into the sacred, private rooms of our inner worlds. Think of Sarah. She's a brilliant designer. Her creativity is a wellspring, but her family history is steeped in scarcity. Every night, it's the same ritual. She turns off the lights, and the blue glow of her phone illuminates her face. She opens her banking app. The number she sees, no matter what it is never enough. It triggers an immediate physical response. Her stomach clenches, her breath gets shallow. The ghost of her father's voice whispers in her ear, you have to watch every penny. The other shoe is always about to drop. Her final thoughts are a frantic calculation of debt, a projection of future expenses, a deep, marinating soak in the cold, metallic feeling of lack. The blueprint she hands her subconscious isn't just a sketch. It's a detailed architectural drawing of a prison of financial anxiety. So her obedient partner gets to work. The next day, she sits down to create, but her inspiration feels stifled, weighed down by a pressure she can't name. When a major client puts a project on hold, citing budget cuts, it feels less like a surprise and more like an inevitability, a perfect confirmation of the story she told herself just hours before. Her reality is a perfect mirror, reflecting the precise instructions of her nightly meditation on lack. Now, think of Maya, a gifted healer. Her hands hold a palpable warmth, her heart a deep well of compassion. She wants to launch her practice, to share her gifts, but she is paralyzed by a deep-seated fear of visibility, a story that says, it is not safe to be seen. You are too much. Her nightly ritual isn't about money. It's about worth. As she lies in the dark, her mind becomes a courtroom where she is always on trial. She replays a moment from childhood where a teacher shamed her for speaking up. She cringes, remembering a time she shared a big idea and was met with the soul-crushing sound of silence. She scrolls through social media, seeing other women in her field shining, and the voice of the prosecutor inside her whispers, who are you to do that? They're so much more qualified, you're not ready. Stay small, stay safe. The blueprint she hands over is for a fortress of self-doubt, with high walls and no windows. Her loyal partner accepts the order. The next day, she sits down to write the copy for her website, and her mind is a complete, static-filled blank. An opportunity arises to speak about her work at a networking event, but her throat tightens. Her words stumble out, feeling awkward and insecure. Her world becomes a flawless construction of the I'm not good enough blueprint, a reality where she is perpetually on the verge of starting, but never quite begins. And one more. Think of Clara. She is financially stable, but her heart is trapped in a cage of resentment. An old business partner, a person she trusted, left her with a heavy burden of debt and betrayal. It was years ago, but every night she reopens the wound. As she tries to sleep, her mind becomes a movie theater, replaying the betrayal in vivid detail. She feels the hot sting of anger, the heavy, suffocating cloak of victimhood. Her final thoughts are a litany of injustice. It's not fair. My flow is blocked because of them. I am stuck because of what they did. Her blueprint is a detailed plan for a world of blockage, bitterness, and endless struggle. Her faithful servant dutifully obeys. The next day, a check she's expecting is for the wrong amount, requiring her to spend hours on the phone to fix it, reinforcing her belief that she must always fight. She gets into a frustrating negotiation where someone tries to undervalue her, mirroring the original betrayal. Her world is being built, brick by brick, from the plans of resentment she approves every single night. Sarah, Maya, and Clara are not broken. They are not unlucky. They are not victims of circumstance. No. Breathe that out and hear this truth. Let it land in your soul, in the very marrow of your bones. They are profoundly powerful creators. They are using a perfect, immutable spiritual law with absolute mastery. They are just unconsciously using that divine power to build worlds they do not want. And you, my dear, you are just like them. You are a master creator, a divine architect, wielding a power so immense it has shaped every single circumstance, every relationship, every dollar in your bank account up until this very moment. This is not a whisper of hope. It is a roar of truth. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is a spiritual awakening. This is the moment you reclaim your power. This is the moment you stop seeing yourself as a character tossed about by the plot of your life, and you remember, with a jolt that shakes you to your core, that you are the author, holding the pen. This is the moment you stop wandering the halls of your life as a tenant, and you remember that you are the architect, and the original blueprints are in your hands. This is the moment the light flips on in the control room of your own mind, and you see, for the very first time, that you have been at the helm all along. You are already doing it. You are already an expert at instructing your subconscious mind. You have been a master of this law your entire life. This is not a new skill you need to learn. It is a divine power you already possess, that you need only learn to direct with loving, conscious intention. There is no shame in this realization. You were never taught. You were taught to work hard, to be a good person, to save your money. No one ever told you that your final thought of the day was the most powerful transaction you would ever make. No one ever explained that your imagination was the treasury of the universe, and your feeling was the currency. So, breathe. Release any judgment. Feel that quiet spark of excitement in your soul, because you are about to consciously take the pen and redraw the entire blueprint of your life. You are about to become the deliberate, intentional writer of your own law of abundance. You are about to learn the art of millionaire sleep. It is a sacred, nightly ritual, a practice of turning your last waking moments into a temple of creation. It consists of 3 simple, sacred steps. The first step, the release. You cannot plant a new garden on top of soil that is filled with stones and weeds. You must first clear the ground. This step is non-negotiable. It's like clearing the static from a radio channel before you can tune into a new frequency. Before impressing a new idea, you must release the heavy energy of the day. Sit in stillness. Light a candle if it calls to you. Take your journal or just your own heart and write down or whisper everything that felt heavy. The worry, the frustration, the doubt. Let it pour out of you without judgment. Then declare its release. I now release the worries of this day. I release the need to figure it all out. I release all thoughts of lack, limitation, and fear. I hand them over to the infinite intelligence within me, which knows only peace, wholeness, and perfect supply. Feel your shoulders drop as you say it. This is your sacred act of clearing the channel. The second step, the vision. Now that the soil is fertile, choose your seed. Your subconscious thinks in the language of feelings and pictures. More money is too vague. Close your eyes. Ask your soul, what is the feeling of the abundance I desire? Is it the expansive calm of security? The giddy freedom of choice? The warm glow of generosity? Choose one dominant feeling. Now, create a short, looping mental movie of that feeling. Don't just see it, embody it. If it's security, feel the calm, slow beat of your heart as you look at your accounts. If it's freedom, feel the sun on your skin and smell the salt air of the dream vacation you just booked without a second thought. If it's generosity, feel the warmth in your chest as you write a significant check to a cause you love. Make it sensory, make it real. This is your new blueprint. The third and final step, the decree. This is where you seal your intention with the vibratory power of your spoken word. A decree is not a hopeful wish. It is a statement of what is already so in the realm of spirit. Choose a short, powerful, rhythmic affirmation and repeat it gently, like a lullaby, as you drift off to sleep. You are not forcing or striving. You are simply allowing the words to wash over you, to sink into the deep, receptive consciousness that is awaiting its command. Here are 3 Florence-style decrees for clearing debt and opening flow. My supply comes from God, and my river of gold flows, full and free. Every channel is open. Every debt is paid in full. I am the daughter of a king, and my divine inheritance is delivered to me now. For career, opportunity, and deservedness. Divine intelligence is my silent partner, and it cannot fail. I am guided to my right and perfect place, where my unique gifts are celebrated and lavishly rewarded with grace and ease. For releasing old patterns and embodying worthiness, I release the blueprint of lack and gratefully accept the divine design of my abundance. I am worthy of all the good that life has to offer, and I receive it now with joy, gratitude, and open arms. So right now, I invite you to make this real. Just for a moment. There's no pressure. Pause this video, close your eyes, choose one of those decrees or one that is stirring in your own heart, and just whisper it to yourself one time. Feel the vibration of it in your throat, in your chest. Feel the truth of it. Go ahead. I'll be here when you get back. Welcome back. That feeling, that small shift you just felt, that is the beginning. That is the first line drawn on your new blueprint. You have successfully given your silent builder a new and beautiful instruction. And now, you simply let it get to work. You rest. You trust. You allow. Think of Lena, who began this nightly ritual. She was just like Sarah, ending every day with that familiar, cold clutch of fear. At first, the practice felt foolish, like a child's game. Her rational mind screamed objections, but she persisted. Every single night, release, vision, decree. She chose, my supply comes from God, and my river of gold flows, full and free. For the first week, nothing happened externally, but she noticed she wasn't waking up with that immediate jolt of anxiety. The morning dread was softer. That was the first sign. Then, an old client she thought was long gone called out of the blue with a project that was not only perfect for her, but paid more than her usual rate. A few days later, an unexpected refund check arrived. Inspired, clear ideas for her business began to flow in the shower, on walks, not from a place of desperation, but from a place of open reception. Slowly, gently, brick by brick, her silent builder was constructing a new reality around her, based on the blueprint of flow and freedom she delivered to it each night. Her outer world had no choice but to rearrange itself to match her new inner state. This is the path, gentle, grounded, real. As you begin, be patient. You are rerouting the course of a mighty river. You will likely feel resistance. As you lay there whispering your decree, your conscious mind might scream, "But look at the bank account. Who are you kidding?" Do not fight this voice. See it for what it is. The death rattle of an old belief system. The static on the radio before the new frequency locks in. Acknowledge it and gently, lovingly, return to your decree. The resistance is a sign you are succeeding. Your outer world may not change overnight. You are planting seeds in the invisible. When a gardener plants a seed, she does not dig it up the next day to check for progress. She trusts the unseen process. Your nightly decree is the watering. Your trust is the sunlight. The manifestation will come. It is law. Sometimes a healing crisis can occur. An unexpected expense might appear. This is not failure. It is the silent builder doing a final house cleaning, pushing out the last of the old energetic debris to make solid ground for the new foundation. Stand firm in your faith. This is the storm before the brilliant calm. Know this: you are not broken. You have never been abandoned. You were simply operating from an old set of instructions, an outdated blueprint handed down to you by a world that did not know its own power. And tonight, you are remembering. You are remembering that you are the writer of your own law. You are the architect of your own reality. You are the one who holds the pen. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded us with such simple clarity, the subconscious is your faithful servant. Tonight, you get to give it new orders. Your final thought of the day is the most powerful conversation you will ever have. It is the prayer that is always, without fail, answered. So I ask you, with all the love and power stirring within you, what blueprint will you hand your silent builder tonight?
Life is not meant to be lived in chains of routine, nor under the gray skies of endless repetition. Too many souls march to the rhythm of a clock that does not sing their song. They rise at the appointed hour. They hurry to a place that stifles their spirit, and they give their energy to tasks that do not belong to their true calling. Yet within every man and woman is planted a seed of freedom, a seed of creative power, a seed of destiny. The world tells us we must labor long years before we may taste liberty. The world tells us that only a chosen few may escape the weary tread of the 9 to 5. But that is not the truth. The truth is that the law of mind, the law of faith, and the law of right action are available to every person who dares to believe. What you seek is already yours. It is only hidden by fear, doubt, and the shadow of old habits. To quit your 9 to 5 in 9 months is not a boast nor a trick of chance. It is the demonstration of a law that never fails when rightly applied. For thought is a magnet, and belief a mold into which life pours its substance. When you hold the image of freedom steadily before you, when you walk in the assurance that you are guided and supported, doors swing open. Opportunities unfold, and the way becomes clear. The formula is not of man's invention. It is the pattern of universal supply and divine timing. 9 months is the cycle of creation, the period in which that which is invisible takes form. As the child grows hidden within the womb until the appointed hour, so does your vision of freedom take shape in the unseen. Until it stands revealed in the seen, your task is not to struggle, but to align. Your work is not to toil, but to trust. The old belief says, I must work harder, longer, sacrifice more. But the higher law declares, I move in perfect rhythm with infinite intelligence, and all that I require is already prepared. Each step of the 9-month journey is a step of faith, a step of clarity, and a step of fearless action. With every day you replace fear with certainty, doubt with assurance, and limitation with expansion. You are not breaking free by force. You are simply claiming the freedom that has been waiting for you. The 9 to 5 is not your master, unless you give it power. Circumstances are not chains unless you bow before them. The formula is simple: hold fast to your vision.
Align with the law of supply, take inspired action, and refuse to accept defeat. In 9 months, what was once a dream becomes your lived reality. For the law works with mathematical exactness and unfailing precision. Every creation begins first as a thought, as an image within the mind, as a silent sketch drawn upon the canvas of imagination. Nothing comes into being that has not first been seen within, whether faintly as a dream or vividly as a picture, so real it cannot be denied. The chair you sit upon, the clothes you wear, the buildings that rise around you, all were once only ideas in the heart of someone who dared to imagine. What is true of the physical world is even more true of the life you long to live. Freedom cannot come to you until you have first seen yourself free, felt yourself free, and accepted freedom as your natural inheritance. Many say they wish to leave their 9 to 5, yet they hold in their minds only the picture of drudgery. They rehearse the weight of the alarm clock, the endless commute, the tasks that drain them, and they speak more of what they hate than of what they desire. But by the law of mind, that which you give energy to, that which you speak of and dwell upon, expands in your life. A man chained in thought cannot be free in circumstance. To step into a new reality, the picture of that reality must be painted first within. You must see yourself rising with joy, working in alignment with your talents, receiving abundance through channels that bring you satisfaction and expansion. You must picture your days ordered not by an external master, but by your inner rhythm. You must hold fast to the image of yourself walking in liberty, even when appearances scream otherwise. For appearances are but shadows, and shadows cannot resist the light of unwavering vision. The secret is to hold the picture steadily, as if it were already true. Not as something far away, not as something that might happen if luck favors you, but as a certainty unfolding by divine law. Every day you water this picture with faith. Every day you polish it by removing the dust of doubt. Every day you step into it as though it were your present reality. When the mind wavers, when fear whispers that you cannot, you return again to the image of freedom. You speak it, you feel it, you see it until it grows more real to you than the desk before your eyes or the clock above your head. This is not daydreaming, this is creation. For thought is substance, thought is magnetic, thought is the seed from which experience springs. The man who holds the picture of bondage draws more chains to himself, and the one who holds the picture of freedom attracts the conditions that break the chains. Just as the sculptor sees the figure within the stone before the chisel strikes, so must you see the life of liberty before circumstances begin to shift. The clearer the picture, the swifter the form takes shape. Yet clarity does not come through force. It comes through repetition, through quiet meditation, through the gentle insistence of the mind upon what it knows to be true. In the morning, before the rush of demands, hold the image of freedom close. See yourself living the day as you wish it to be, not as habit has trained it. At night, before you sleep, step again into the vision. The subconscious, which never slumbers, will carry that image and work to align your outer life with your inner command. The world may call you unrealistic. They may say, "How can you leave what is secure? How can you imagine life so different in so short a time?" But the world speaks from fear, from the belief that appearances are permanent and that man is bound by circumstance. The truth is otherwise. Circumstances are clay, and thought is the potter. What you refuse to imagine cannot come to you, but what you dare to see clearly and continually will find its way to you with precision. When the old picture rises, the picture of long hours, of scarcity, of frustration, you do not fight it, you replace it. You speak softly within yourself, "This is not my truth. My truth is freedom. My truth is abundance. My truth is joyful work." Then you return again to the vision of what is yours. The repetition of truth dissolves the shadow of falsehood. To hold the picture unwaveringly does not mean you never feel doubt. It means doubt does not command you. It may knock at your door, but you do not invite it to stay. You turn your gaze back to the image of liberty, and you anchor yourself in it as one anchors a ship in the midst of storm. The winds may howl, The waves may rise, but the vision holds steady, and in time the storm passes. The power of vision is not measured by how loud you declare it, but by how faithfully you return to it. A single clear image, held with constancy, will carve new paths in the unseen and call forth opportunities, ideas, and connections that you could not have planned. The mind that holds freedom sees openings where others see walls. It recognizes doors that would remain invisible to the one still chained by thought. Vision is the womb of manifestation. Without it, nothing takes form. With it, everything is possible. To leave the 9 to 5 in 9 months is not about forcing events, but about gestating a new reality within the soil of imagination. Just as the child forms cell by cell in secret before the mother beholds the infant in her arms, so does your life of freedom form detail by detail in the unseen before you walk into it with your feet. Therefore, guard your vision as you would guard treasure. Speak not carelessly of failure, for words reinforce pictures. Keep company with thoughts and images that lift your belief higher. Let every action, every plan, every step you take flow from the picture of freedom already complete. When the vision holds steady, the outer world must bend, for the outer is only the reflection of the inner. All of life unfolds in divine order, and every manifestation follows a rhythm that cannot be hurried nor delayed. The seasons turn by invisible command. Spring does not rush into summer, nor does autumn skip into winter. Each stage has its appointed hour, and in that rhythm lies harmony. Just as the earth requires time to bring forth a harvest, so does every dream require its cycle of creation. 9 months is not chosen by chance. It is the ancient measure of gestation, the sacred period in which the unseen becomes seen, in which the hidden seed takes form until it bursts forth as life. When you decide to release the 9 to 5 and step into freedom, you are planting a seed. That seed is your intention, your vision, your choice to align with abundance and liberty, rather than with limitation and routine. The moment you plant it, the process begins, though to your outer eyes there may be no sign. Just as the farmer does not dig up the soil each day to see if the seed has sprouted, you too must trust the invisible work. You water the seed with faith, you shield it with affirmations, you give it light through gratitude, and you allow it to unfold in its perfect time. Impatience is the enemy of creation. Many begin with enthusiasm, but when they do not see immediate results, they abandon their vision, declare it impossible, and return to old patterns. They forget that the oak tree does not spring up overnight, nor does the child arrive the moment after conception. There is a sacred rhythm, a divine intelligence at work behind the scenes, arranging circumstances, preparing opportunities, and aligning resources that you may not yet see. To trust the process is to stand in quiet confidence, knowing that the unseen is more powerful than the seen, and that what you have declared is already on its way. The 9-month cycle is also a symbol of transformation. During this period, old structures dissolve, habits shift, and new patterns emerge. There may be discomfort, as growth often requires shedding what no longer serves. There may be uncertainty, as the old way crumbles before the new has fully appeared. Yet this is part of the process. Just as the caterpillar enters the cocoon and must surrender to transformation before emerging as the butterfly, so must you release the safety of routine to embrace the unknown of freedom. Trusting the process means allowing yourself to be reshaped, to be prepared for the life you have called forth. In the unseen, much is occurring that your senses cannot grasp. New ideas may be stirring quietly in your mind, connections may be forming beyond your knowledge. Opportunities may be aligning in ways that only time will reveal. You may meet a person seemingly by chance who holds the key to your next step, or stumble upon an idea that shifts your entire path. None of this is coincidence. It is the law of creation weaving together the threads that match your vision. The seed you planted draws to itself all that is required for its growth. The 9 months serve not only to form the manifestation, but also to prepare you. For what good is freedom if you are not ready to walk in it? What good is abundance if your mind still clings to scarcity? What good is opportunity if you are bound by fear? During this sacred cycle, You are being refined. Old doubts rise to the surface so that they may be released. Limiting beliefs reveal themselves so they may be dissolved. Habits of thought that once chained you are brought into light so they may be replaced with truth. The process is not only about creating the outer change, but also about shaping you into the one who can live in freedom with joy and mastery. Many resist this inner work, thinking only of the outer result. They ask, when will the change come? When will I be free of this job? But the question must first be, when will I be free within? When will I accept fully that I am not bound? For once the inner freedom is established, the outer follows swiftly. The 9 months are not a delay. They are a gift, ensuring that when the change comes, it is complete, stable, and lasting. Consider the mother who carries life within her. She does not rush the process, for she knows that each stage is essential. The child forming within her must pass through all phases of growth before it is ready for the world. She trusts the unseen work of nature. Though she cannot see it directly, she feels its movements, she honors its timing, and she prepares herself for the arrival. So too must you carry your vision with patience and faith. You may not yet see the form, but you feel the stirring within, you sense the life growing, and you prepare yourself for its manifestation. To trust the unseen process is to rest in certainty. Certainty is not forced optimism, nor blind hope. It is quiet knowing. It is the assurance that because you have planted the seed, the harvest must come. It is the understanding that the universe is never late, and that what belongs to you cannot be withheld. Even in moments when progress seems invisible, the unseen is alive with activity, shaping, aligning, preparing. The delay is only in perception, not in truth. There may be moments when the old life presses heavily, when the 9 to 5 seems endless, when doubt whispers that nothing is changing. In those moments, you remind yourself of the law. You declare, though I do not yet see it, I know it is forming. Though I do not yet walk in it, I know it is prepared. You anchor yourself in the truth that creation takes time, and time is your ally, not your enemy. Each day brings you closer to the unveiling. Each month reveals another step in the cycle. The 9th month will come as surely as the dawn follows the night, and with it, the birth of what you have carried within. Fear is the great robber of destiny, the silent thief that steals the treasures of the soul before they ever reach your hands. It whispers of danger. It paints pictures of failure. It chains the mind with doubt and hesitation. Fear says you cannot. Fear says you are unworthy. Fear says the path is too uncertain, the risk too great, the dream too high. Yet faith, when embraced fully, dissolves fear as light dissolves darkness. Fear cannot dwell where faith is firmly established, for the two cannot occupy the same place at once. Faith is not mere hope nor a fragile wish. Faith is the unwavering knowing that what you desire is already yours in the unseen, waiting to be claimed in the seen. The man or woman trapped in the 9 to 5 often remains there not because of inability, but because of fear. Fear of losing security, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. They may dream of freedom, yet they bow before the imagined dangers, and in so doing, they keep themselves bound. But when faith is chosen, fear loses its power. Faith declares that the supply is already prepared, that guidance is already given, that opportunities are already aligned. Faith holds its gaze on the unseen truth, while the outer world trembles with appearances. Circumstances are the favorite weapon of fear. They shout loudly, look at your bills, look at your obligations, look at the scarcity around you. Look at how many others have failed. If you bow to circumstances, you will forever be ruled by them. But circumstances are shadows, reflections of past belief, not permanent realities. To align with circumstances is to chain yourself to yesterday. To align with certainty is to step into the law of creation, which is always fresh, always unfolding, always greater than appearances. Faith is certainty. It is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. When you walk in faith, you act as though the truth of freedom were already established. You speak as though abundance were already flowing. You carry yourself as one who knows their path is prepared, even if the way is not yet visible. This certainty is not arrogance. It is alignment with the divine law that cannot fail. The universe responds to the vibration of certainty. Doors swing open before the one who walks with faith, while they remain locked to the one who hesitates in fear. It is not necessary to fight fear directly. Struggle only strengthens it, for what you resist persists. The task is not to banish fear by force, but to replace it with faith. The mind cannot hold both at once. So you choose deliberately which master you will serve. When fear arises, you do not argue with it, you turn your attention to faith. You declare to yourself, I walk in certainty. I am guided. I am supplied. My good is secure. The more you feed faith with words, with images, with action, the weaker fear becomes until it fades like mist in the morning sun. Fear thrives on imagination misused. It paints vivid pictures of failure, loss, and struggle. It makes what is not real appear real, and in doing so, it drains courage and paralyzes action. Faith also uses imagination, but rightly directed. Faith paints pictures of victory, abundance, and joy. Faith makes what is unseen more real than what is seen, and in doing so, it fuels courage and inspires movement. Both are acts of imagination, but one imprisons while the other liberates. The choice rests always in your hands. When you begin the journey to leave the 9 to 5 in 9 months, fear will rise at every step. It will tell you the timing is wrong, the risk is too high, the vision too bold. It will remind you of past failures, of promises broken, of disappointments endured. It will try to persuade you to settle, to remain safe, to silence your dream. This is the testing ground. For every vision must pass through the fire of fear before it is birthed. If you yield, the vision dies. If you stand in faith, the vision grows stronger. Faith is built through practice. It is not a one-time declaration but a continual choice. Each day you choose again whether to align with fear or with certainty. You strengthen faith by feeding it. You read words that inspire. You speak affirmations that uplift. You surround yourself with those who believe in possibility rather than limitation. You take small steps in alignment with your vision, and each step proves to you that you are supported. With each demonstration, faith grows until it becomes unshakable. Faith is not blind, it sees beyond. Fear looks at what is and trembles. Faith looks at what will be and rejoices. Fear magnifies obstacles. Faith magnifies solutions. Fear paralyzes. Faith energizes. Fear closes doors in the mind. Faith opens them wide. When you choose faith, you begin to act differently. You approach opportunities with confidence. You speak with conviction. You carry yourself with authority. Others sense this vibration and respond to it. Doors open not because the world suddenly changes, but because your alignment has shifted, and the world must mirror your inner state. There is a secret power in declaring certainty when circumstances contradict it. When you affirm abundance in the face of lack, you are not deceiving yourself, you are aligning with truth beyond appearances. When you affirm freedom while still at the desk of your 9 to 5, you are not delusional. You are commanding the unseen to reveal what already belongs to you. Faith is creative. It calls into form that which fear would bury. Every affirmation of faith weakens the grip of fear and strengthens the chain of cause that leads to manifestation. The body responds to fear with tension, heaviness, exhaustion. It responds to faith with energy, clarity, vitality. Fear drains, faith restores. Fear makes the journey seem long and painful. Faith makes the same journey light and joyous. When you feel heaviness pressing upon you, know it is fear seeking to rule. When you feel a quiet confidence even in uncertainty, know faith is at work. To cultivate this confidence is to cultivate the very atmosphere in which freedom grows. Fear cannot withstand movement. The moment you act in alignment with faith, fear diminishes. Action proves to the mind that faith is real. A single step taken in trust is more powerful than hours of worry. Each step forward confirms the truth of your certainty, and with each confirmation, faith grows stronger still. The journey of 9 months is not a journey of waiting, but of walking steadily, guided by faith at every turn. There is a vast difference between toil born of fear and action born of inspiration. The world teaches that progress comes only by struggle, that one must grind endlessly, push harder, work longer, sacrifice joy to gain success. This belief has enslaved many in the endless wheel of labor, where effort multiplies yet fulfillment remains absent. But the law of life does not demand strain, it calls for alignment. Inspired action is not the frantic effort of one trying to make something happen, but the steady movement of one who knows the way, is already prepared. It is not forced, it is guided. It does not deplete, it replenishes. It is not burden, it is flow. When you choose to leave the 9 to 5, you are not choosing a life of idleness. You are choosing a life where your work springs from truth, where what you do each day flows from purpose rather than obligation. To reach that life requires action, but not just any action. Action in harmony with vision. The difference is profound. Forced action is born of fear of missing out, fear of lack, fear of falling behind. Inspired action is born of faith that each step is revealed at the right time. Faith that you are guided by intelligence greater than your own. Faith that nothing is withheld from the one who listens and moves accordingly. The world admires hustle, yet hustle without alignment is motion without direction. You may exhaust yourself running in circles, only to find you remain in the same place. Inspired action, though it may appear smaller, carries power because it is precise. It strikes at the right moment, in the right way, producing results far beyond the effort given. One inspired step can open more doors than 100 forced ones. It is not the volume of action that matters, but its alignment with the higher law. Inspired action is recognized by the feeling that accompanies it. There is a quiet certainty, a sense of clarity, a lightness even when the step is bold. It may stretch you, but it does not crush you. It may challenge you, but it does not deplete you. It feels as though you are being carried rather than pushing against resistance. The idea comes, the impulse arises, the opportunity appears, and something within you says, yes, this is the way. This is the voice of guidance. To hear this voice, the mind must be still enough to receive. A restless mind, crowded with worry and constant activity, cannot perceive the subtle nudges of inspiration. Silence, reflection, meditation, and inner listening create the space where guidance speaks. The idea may come as a sudden thought, a gentle whisper, a door opening where none existed before. To the one who trusts, these are not coincidences. They are answers. To the one who doubts, they are dismissed, and the opportunity passes unseen. Once the inspired step is revealed, you must act. Too many receive the impulse yet hesitate, reasoning themselves out of movement. They question, they delay, they seek guarantees before they begin. In doing so, they quench the very spark that was meant to ignite their path. Inspiration demands response. When the step is shown, you move, even if the whole road is not yet visible. Each step reveals the next. Just as the traveler sees only as far as the lamp will shine, yet by walking, reaches the destination, so too does inspired action reveal the way. Forced action often leads to frustration because it attempts to manipulate outcomes through sheer effort. It says, I must make this happen by my will alone. Inspired action trusts that the outcome is already established and simply aligns with it. This trust allows you to release the desperate grasping that creates resistance. Instead of scattering your energy in all directions, you focus it where it matters most. This focus creates efficiency, and efficiency brings results without exhaustion. The law of inspired action works with precision. Just as the key must fit the lock exactly, so does inspired action fit the opportunity perfectly. You may labor for years trying to break down a door by force, when one inspired step would have opened it with ease. But you cannot force the timing of inspiration, it comes when the soil is ready. This is why faith and patience are required. You prepare yourself by holding the vision, by trusting the unseen process, by replacing fear with certainty. Then, when the moment arrives, you are ready to act without hesitation. Many confuse inaction with faith, believing they must simply wait for everything to fall into place. Yet faith without action is incomplete. The seed must be planted, the field must be tilled, the door must be walked through when it opens. Faith prepares the ground, but action reaps the harvest. To sit idle while opportunities pass is to deny the law. To act frantically without guidance is to waste energy. To move when inspired is to cooperate with divine intelligence, creating harmony between inner knowing and outer doing. The 9-month journey is filled with such inspired steps. Some may seem small, a conversation, a book, a change in routine. Others may be large, leaving behind an old habit, accepting a new role, launching a bold idea. Each step builds upon the last, creating momentum that carries you forward. Though you may not see the full plan, trust that the plan exists, and that your part is simply to take the step before you. Inspired action also attracts support. When you move in alignment with vision, others sense it. The right people appear, drawn by the clarity of your energy. Doors open because your certainty creates resonance. Assistance arrives, not because you beg or chase, but because you move with confidence that the way is prepared. The universe supports movement in harmony with truth. What seemed impossible becomes inevitable because you acted when inspired. The feeling of force is heavy, anxious, strained. The feeling of inspiration is light, confident, effortless. One drains you, the other sustains you. Learn to recognize the difference. If you find yourself pushing endlessly with little fruit, step back and ask, am I moving from fear or from faith? Am I forcing, or am I being guided? This reflection allows you to release wasted effort and return to alignment. Inspiration never demands sacrifice of joy. It may require courage, but it does not require misery. It may call you to stretch, but it does not crush your spirit. True inspired action carries with it the fragrance of freedom, even while you are still on the journey. Each step feels like a taste of the life you are moving into, and in that feeling, you find strength to continue. The universe is rich beyond measure, overflowing with every form of abundance, yet it does not pour its treasures into vessels that are never lifted. Supply waits upon demand. The law is precise: nothing flows until it is called for, nothing appears until it is claimed. To believe you must wait endlessly for supply to find you is to misunderstand the very nature of life. Life responds, it answers, it gives when it is asked, and it multiplies when it is received with gratitude. Demand is not begging nor pleading, it is confident claiming. It is the soul saying with certainty, this belongs to me by right of consciousness, and I accept it now. Most remain bound in the 9 to 5 because they do not dare to make a demand upon life. They whisper their desires. They hope silently, but they shrink back from declaring boldly what they want. They fear being disappointed, so they choose to want less. They fear being judged, so they choose to hide their dreams. In doing so, they signal to the universe that they are not ready to receive, and the law answers in kind. To demand is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is knowing that abundance is infinite, and that no request depletes the whole. To claim is to stand in your rightful inheritance as a co-creator with the divine. Supply is already prepared, yet it waits for the channel to open. Demand is that opening. The farmer who never plants seed cannot expect a harvest, not because the soil is barren but because the law requires a starting point. In the same way, your clear claim begins the flow of supply. When you declare, I am free, I am provided for, I receive the channels prepared for me, you set into motion forces that cannot be stopped. Ideas begin to surface, opportunities emerge, resources align, and all because you created the demand that invited the supply to appear. To demand does not mean to dictate the manner of supply. Many block their own good by insisting it must come in a specific way, through a specific channel, at a specific time. This is not demand, this is control. True demand is releasing the how while holding fast to the what. You may declare freedom, abundance, opportunity, but you allow infinite intelligence to choose the path by which it comes. Often it arrives through channels you never expected, greater than what you imagined. To demand is to open wide, not to narrow. Fear often disguises itself as humility, whispering, it is too much to ask, it is selfish to claim, it is safer to stay small. But humility does not mean denying your rightful good. True humility is trusting the law enough to receive without guilt. To accept abundance is not to rob another, for the supply is limitless. To refuse abundance is to reject what has already been prepared for you. And in doing so, to close the door on the greater good you might share with others. The one who boldly claims is the one who becomes a channel for blessings to flow outward as well. Supply follows demand with mathematical certainty. When you walk into a store, you make a request, and what you ask for is given. If you never speak, nothing is brought. Life operates by the same law. You must speak your request, declare your demand, and expect fulfillment. Hesitation delays the flow. Uncertainty clogs the channel. Clarity opens it wide. The clearer your demand, the swifter the supply. Demand is not only spoken with words but also with action. When you prepare for what you have claimed, you signal your readiness to receive. The one who prepares a room for the guest declares by action that the guest is coming. The one who sets aside time for freedom declares by action that freedom is at hand. Every act of preparation is a silent demand, and supply responds. When you act as though your vision is already unfolding, you hasten its arrival, for you align inner belief with outer movement. There is no shortage in the universe, only shortage in belief. Those who cry out that supply is limited, that opportunities are few, that abundance is for the few, are blinded by appearances. They see only the shadows of lack and mistake them for truth. Yet those who dare to demand discover that doors open where none existed, channels flow where once there was dryness, and resources appear that others swore were impossible. The law does not respect appearances, it respects consciousness. To the one who claims boldly, abundance responds. To the one who shrinks back, abundance waits in silence. Demand requires persistence. The first declaration may shake. The second may waver, but each repetition strengthens your claim. You do not give up when appearances contradict your demand, for appearances are slow to catch up with inner truth. You declare again, my supply is certain, my freedom is sure, my abundance flows. Each repetition builds momentum, each word anchors the reality deeper, until the outer must conform. Persistence in demand is not nagging the universe, it is solidifying your own certainty until doubt dissolves and only truth remains. Supply is not given because you earn it by toil or sacrifice, it is given because you align with it. Many labor long years under the false belief that their worth must be proven before life will grant them freedom. Yet worth is not earned, it is inherent. Supply follows not the hardest worker but the clearest demander. This is why some who labor endlessly remain in lack, while others who move with clarity receive in abundance. It is not effort alone that draws supply, but alignment with the law of demand. Demand must be without hesitation. The hesitant mind sends a double signal. It says, I want this, but whispers, perhaps not. Perhaps it is too much, perhaps I am unworthy. The law answers the stronger vibration, which is doubt, and so nothing flows. To claim effectively is to claim without apology. It is to stand firm in the truth that abundance is your natural state, that freedom is your rightful inheritance, and that nothing can prevent what is truly yours. When you declare in this manner, the law responds swiftly, for it meets the energy of conviction with fulfillment. Supply follows demand in exact proportion. If you demand little, little comes. If you demand greatly, greatly comes. The size of your claim determines the size of your supply. Do not limit yourself by small asking. Do not reduce your vision to fit within the comfort of fear. Dare to ask largely, for the universe is limitless. Your demand expands the channel, and the channel determines the flow. The ocean does not limit itself to the size of the vessel, it fills according to what is offered. Bring a thimble. Receive a thimble. Bring a bucket, receive a bucket. Bring a reservoir, and it will overflow. If your life feels stuck, if doors seem closed, if time keeps slipping and your good keeps hiding, it is not because you are cursed. It is not because heaven is deaf to your need. It is not because you lack worth or power or potential. It is because you have forgotten the laws, and worse, you have forgotten that these laws respond only to speech. You've waited for transformation, when transformation was waiting on your voice. You've begged the skies for a sign, when the sign was meant to come from your lips. Let me speak plainly. Your life does not shift by emotion. It does not shift by effort. It shifts the moment you speak in rhythm with truth. That is the only moment heaven moves. That is the only moment the unseen realm begins to organize itself into form. Until then, it waits. Silent. Ready. Listening for the word. Because form cannot appear where the word has not been declared. You were never meant to be a silent seeker. You were born to be a bold speaker. Your mouth is not for complaint. Your breath is not for worry. Your voice is an instrument of dominion. And the laws that govern this universe do not respond to mood, but to spoken authority. When you speak in alignment, mountains move. When you decree the word, matter obeys. When you release law with rhythm, power floods into form, without delay. There are 10 laws, 10 divine operations of spiritual mechanics that do not wait, do not hesitate, and do not delay when you speak them with understanding. Each one holds the power to shift your life in the instant it is declared, not because of magic, but because of alignment with divine intelligence. These laws are already written into the fabric of your reality. You have been living under them, whether you knew them or not, but now you will live with them, through them, by them, consciously, boldly, rhythmically. These are not affirmations. These are declarations. These are not hopes. These are commands. And when you speak them, you do not ask God to move. You align with the fact that God already moved. You do not beg for flow. You declare the gate open. You do not whisper into the void. You declare into the field. And the field must respond. So I say unto you, child of the Most High, soul who has waited long enough, seeker who has hungered for signs and power, today you become a speaker of law. Today you remember who you are. Today you stop waiting for evidence and start creating it with your voice. You will not just hear these 10 laws. You will speak them. You will own them. You will feel the charge in your bones when they leave your lips. Because the moment these words enter the atmosphere, something shifts. Energy organizes, form obeys, and life changes. Not someday, but immediately. This is the hour of return. Return to power, return to speech, return to divine law. And it begins with the word. Before you can activate any of the 10 laws, you must understand the one that undergirds them all, the law of spoken formation. Everything begins with this. Nothing moves without it. The moment you open your mouth in alignment with spirit, you begin to build form. Invisible becomes visible. Energy becomes matter. Word becomes world. The first sentence of Scripture was not a whisper of doubt, it was a command of creation. Let there be light. And there was. That was not poetry. That was pattern. That was law revealed in the first line of the divine manual. Not because God needed words, but because you would. Because your power would be tied to the word. Because the law would forever respond to what is spoken. John 1:1 declares, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." In the beginning, not thought, not effort, not planning, but word, spoken essence, divine vibration cast into the formless to summon form. And this is the blueprint of all things. If it is not spoken, it remains asleep. If it is not declared, it is not born. If it is not charged with rhythm, it cannot organize the chaos. This is not metaphor. This is metaphysics. Every sentence you speak charges the field around you. Every phrase becomes a mold reality must fill. And the law of spoken formation says this: your world follows your word, every time. Not sometimes. Not when you're emotional. Not only when you feel ready. Every single time you speak in spiritual alignment, you initiate formation. And the tragedy? Most people speak without realizing they're forming. They say, "I can't afford it," and form poverty. They say, "Nothing ever works for me," and form misalignment. They say, "I'm just tired of trying," and the field hears them and obeys. But now your word is being purified. Your mouth is being rededicated. Your voice is returning to its original purpose, not to vent frustration, but to release creation. You will no longer use your voice to describe what is. You will use it to command what shall be. Because you are a spiritual architect, a law speaker, a form maker, and now you know the first and final truth. Whatever you speak with belief appears. Whatever you speak with fear materializes. Whatever you speak without awareness returns as confusion, but what you speak in spiritual rhythm becomes your life. Say it with me now. In the beginning was the Word, and now I speak mine. Let us continue. Let us now enter the living heart of divine law. These are not theories. These are spiritual mechanics, unseen levers of reality that respond with immediate obedience to the spoken word. And the first 3 laws I will give you now are the laws that shift your atmosphere the moment they leave your mouth. No delay, no preparation, only agreement and utterance. Speak them, and something must change. Law 1, the law of substitution. Fear cannot be cast out by will. It cannot be argued with or ignored. It must be replaced. And what replaces it is truth, spoken aloud. The law of substitution says, every time you speak a higher vibration, the lower one must dissolve. You cannot think your way out of fear, but you can speak your way out. When you say, I cast out fear with faith, there is no room for both. You are not begging, you are commanding. You are declaring that 2 masters cannot rule your house, and the law obeys. Fear flees when truth is declared, not silently, but rhythmically. Do not wrestle with the lower vibration. Substitute it, overwrite it, replace it, and the law will enforce the switch. Say it now. I cast out fear with faith. There is no room for both. Law 2, the law of expectancy. What you expect with confidence, you invite. What you expect with doubt, you repel. The law of expectancy says, your spoken word sets the level of your demonstration, and the level is determined not by what you want, but by what you expect. You must say out loud, I expect the miraculous. I walk in divine assumption, not hope, not maybe, divine assumption. It is done. It is here. It is mine. And the universe hears that vibration, not your timeline, but your tone. Expectation is not wishful thinking, it is energetic structure, and your expectation, when spoken boldly, draws demonstration like a magnet. Say it now. I expect the miraculous. I walk in divine assumption. Law 3, the law of increase. Bless and it multiplies. Curse and it shrinks. Whatever you speak blessing over, money, time, energy, people, will increase. This law does not require belief. It simply requires utterance. The field cannot multiply what you do not bless. Most people speak curse without knowing. There's never enough. It's always running out. I can't keep up. These are not statements. They are contracts. But when you bless what you have, even if it appears small, the law of increase activates immediately. Say this aloud. I bless my life, and it overflows in perfect ways. You are no longer waiting for more before blessing. You are blessing to create more. Now, say all 3 together. I cast out fear with faith. There is no room for both. I expect the miraculous. I walk in divine assumption. I bless my life, and it overflows in perfect ways. These are not affirmations. These are keys. And now they are yours. You have now shifted the atmosphere within. But divine law does not stop at the soul. It governs circumstance. It governs outcome. It governs the outer as fully as the inner. These next 3 laws are given to shift what surrounds you, to speak into the winds and watch the storm obey, to speak into lack and watch abundance return, to speak into delay and watch divine timing accelerate. These are the laws of external reordering. Law 4, the law of reversal. This law is your spiritual shield. It says, every appearance is subject to reversal when truth is spoken over it. That means no matter what the doctor said, what the bank account shows, what the paper declares, you hold the final word, not because you are forcing reality to change, but because reality is a servant to divine word. Say this when the world tries to intimidate you. Every delay is a divine setup. My good cannot be denied. Do not wrestle with the appearance. Reverse it. Speak over it. Use this sentence like a sword, and you will see with your own eyes what law can do. Law 5, the law of divine compensation. What was lost returns. What was stolen is restored. What seemed wasted is counted and returned by Spirit. The law of divine compensation says, God keeps perfect accounts, and your job is not to make up for the loss, it is to speak restoration. You are not a victim of time. You are not a victim of the thief. You are a speaker of return. Declare it now. What I lost returns multiplied. Spirit accounts for all. That sentence is not wishful. It is legal. In the court of divine law, what you declare becomes precedent. Speak this law over every broken deal, every unpaid debt, every betrayal. The law will balance your books. Law 6, the law of circulation. Nothing given is ever gone. Nothing shared is ever diminished. Everything moves in divine rhythm unless you block the flow. The law of circulation says, what you bless and release returns multiplied. This is not about giving to get. This is about recognizing your life as a river, not a reservoir. If you clutch your money, your time, your energy in fear, you choke the flow. But when you speak blessing into your giving, no matter how small, the law releases increase. Declare it now, before the mind argues. I give in truth, and it returns sevenfold. Do not give blindly. Give with law, give with speech, give with rhythm, and the return will outrun your logic. Say these aloud now. Let them replace every old fear, every defeated thought. Every delay is a divine setup. My good cannot be denied. What I lost returns multiplied. Spirit accounts for all. I give in truth, and it returns sevenfold. These are not prayers. These are decrees, and reality must comply. You have spoken to fear. You have spoken to circumstances. Now you must speak to yourself. Because no matter how much truth surrounds you, it cannot reach you until it flows from within you. These next 3 laws govern identity, alignment, and destiny. They shift not just what you see, but who you are. Law 7, the law of recognition. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you recognize yourself as. The law of recognition says, until you speak your identity, life cannot reflect it. If you see yourself as the struggler, you will collect evidence of struggle. If you speak of yourself as lacking, you will walk through lack, even when opportunity knocks. But if you declare with rhythm and boldness, I am one with wealth, wisdom, and wonder, then the field will say, yes. The law will respond, correct, and heaven will rush to confirm your word. This is not ego, this is agreement. Speak it again. I am one with wealth, wisdom, and wonder, and feel your self-image realign. Law 8, the law of alignment. This law says, form must follow the aligned word. If you want clarity, speak clarity. If you want peace, speak peace. The mouth is not a mirror, it is a mold. The moment you speak what is true of spirit, not of fear, not of facts, but of spirit, form begins to match. Say it aloud. I speak only what is true of spirit, and it appears. Not what is true of your past, not what is true of statistics, what is true of divine mind, that you are provided for, that you are supported, that you are powerful, that you are never outside the reach of grace. Speak only that, and the form will shift. Law 9, the law of destiny activation. This law is the breaker, the liberator. the code that releases your highest timeline. It says, your spoken word reveals the next step in your divine path. You are not lost. You are not stuck. You are not unsure. You are simply quiet, and your destiny has been waiting, not for a sign, but for a sentence. When you say, I walk in perfect self-expression, nothing can block what is mine. You are not begging for clarity. You are installing it. You are commanding the crooked places to straighten. You are declaring to heaven and hell, I know who I am, and I will not be denied. Say it again. I walk in perfect self-expression. Nothing can block what is mine. Your path is not found. It is spoken, and you have just spoken it. Now let all three of these identity laws enter your body. Speak them slowly. Speak them deeply. I am one with wealth, wisdom, and wonder. I speak only what is true of spirit, and it appears. I walk in perfect self-expression. Nothing can block what is mine. Say them again. Let them rewrite your posture. Let them clothe you in new authority. Let them call your future forward. Now we come to the seal, the anchor, the law that locks all others into power. This is not just a law, it is a spiritual gavel, and when you speak it, nothing can overturn it. This is the law of divine finality. It says, what you declare as done in divine mind becomes immovable. The field stops shifting, the energy ceases wobbling, the vibration stabilizes, and form rushes into alignment. This law makes your decree final, not just possible, not just probable, but finished. You see, most people speak and then wait, then doubt, then waver. They say, I know it's coming, followed by, but what if it doesn't? And that double-mindedness cancels the decree. It weakens the word. It short-circuits the power of the command. But when you say, it is done, I have spoken, Spirit performs it now. You end the argument. You silence the fear. You plant the word like a stake in the ground, and divine law builds reality around it. This is not hope. This is finality, and finality is what gives power its form. Spirit does not respond to indecision. Spirit responds to authority. Authority comes not from emotion, but from utterance. Scripture affirms this. Job 22:28 says, Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Not, thou shalt wonder about a thing, not, thou shalt try to believe it hard enough, but decree, say it, seal it, stand in it. Say it now. It is done. I have spoken. Spirit performs it now. Speak it as a warrior. Speak it as a priest. Speak it as one who knows that the moment law is declared, the field begins construction. Say it again. It is done. I have spoken. Spirit performs it now. Do not speak it and look around. Do not speak it and measure by appearances. Speak it and let the law do what it does best. Establish. Your word is the blueprint. Spirit is the builder. Divine timing is the delivery system, and nothing can stop what is final in truth. Say it a third time so the subconscious receives it as order. It is done. I have spoken. Spirit performs it now. That sentence is not just a phrase. It is a gate, and you have just walked through it. Now let us move into the chamber where we install all 10 laws in rhythm. You have spoken each law. You have declared each sentence. But to make them permanent, you must now plant them in the soil of the subconscious, not as ideas, not as quotes, but as internal law. Because the world you experience is not created by what you occasionally say, but by what you continually believe, and belief is shaped by repetition with emotion. Mental reprogramming is not a chore. It is the continuation of divine speech until your body, your field, and your subconscious all move as one. The 10 laws are now yours, but they must be installed. And installation requires rhythm, requires ritual, requires voice. So here is your instruction. Speak all 10 laws every morning and every night for the next 10 days. Not as a chant, but as a charge. not as a routine, but as a realignment. You must declare them as a sovereign, not a servant, as one who governs their atmosphere, not one who begs for change. Picture this: your body as a temple, your voice as the high priest. Each sentence a spiritual torch that illuminates a dark chamber within, and with each declaration, your temple is relit, recrowned, recommissioned. I will now lead you through the 10 laws, slowly, so that you may begin this reprogramming now. Let each one be spoken with breath, with weight, with full authority. I cast out fear with faith. There is no room for both. I expect the miraculous. I walk in divine assumption. I bless my life, and it overflows in perfect ways. Every delay is a divine setup. My good cannot be denied. What I lost returns multiplied. Spirit accounts for all. I give in truth, and it returns sevenfold. I am one with wealth, wisdom, and wonder. I speak only what is true of spirit, and it appears. I walk in perfect self-expression. Nothing can block what is mine. It is done. I have spoken. Spirit performs it now. Pause after each. Feel the vibration of the words. Picture them filling your field like geometric light, shaping your aura, sealing your mind in new truth. This is not poetry. It is blueprint. This is not suggestion. It is installation. You are not memorizing. You are magnetizing. You are turning your voice into your compass, your speech into your shield, your rhythm into your reprogramming. Say this now to finish the sequence. These laws are mine. They move with my breath. I speak, and spirit acts. And it shall be. Now comes the proving ground. You have heard the laws. You have spoken the words. You have reprogrammed the field. But I now give you a command, not from pressure, but from power. Not to test your worth, but to prove the law. And the law always says, speak, and it is done. So now you must walk in what you've spoken. Here is your challenge. For the next 24 hours, speak all 10 sentences, 3 times each, morning, afternoon, and night. 30 declarations in a single day. Not 30 wishes, not 30 hopes, 30 spiritual commands. This is not to impress the divine. It is to install new rhythm. It is to teach the atmosphere that you are no longer available for delay, confusion, or limitation. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for the right feeling. Do not wait until you are calm or ready. You are already ready because you are already divine. Speak the law regardless of mood. Speak the law over your fear. Speak the law over your bank account. Speak the law over your body, over your house, over your breath. This 24-hour test will show you what most never see, that spirit does not delay, but responds instantly when the command is clear, bold, and consistent. You will notice the shifts. An email arrives, a problem dissolves, a thought breaks, a door opens, a memory heals. You will notice the field moving, because the field obeys spoken order. If nothing seems to happen outside, look within. Do not judge by appearances. You will feel something clear, a fog will lift, a heaviness will release, and that is how you know you are no longer walking in default, you are walking in decree. Let me remind you of what is written in Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. It cannot return void, it must form, it must perform. If you speak it, it must appear. So say now, I do not wait, I speak. I do not guess, I decree. I do not delay, I activate. This is your 24-hour window, a temple of power, a sacred field. Do not let it pass unspoken. And if you accept this command, write it into the invisible right now. I accept, I speak the law, I expect results. It begins now. Now we seal the gates. We lock in the vibration. We set the rhythm so deeply into your field that it cannot be undone by noise, by delay, or by doubt. This is the sequence of tenfold power, not a whisper, not a chant, but a spiritual drumbeat. And when you speak these declarations together, without hesitation, you generate current. You generate clarity. You generate command. You will say them not to beg, not to convince, but to broadcast your alignment. These are the 10 keys that shift life when spoken, and now we stack them, strike them, and send them like arrows into the invisible. Breathe deep, shoulders back, voice steady, declare, I cast out fear with faith. There is no room for both. I expect the miraculous. I walk in divine assumption. I bless my life, and it overflows in perfect ways. Every delay is a divine setup. My good cannot be denied. What I lost returns multiplied. Spirit accounts for all. I give in truth, and it returns sevenfold. I am one with wealth, wisdom, and wonder. I speak only what is true of spirit, and it appears. I walk in perfect self-expression. Nothing can block what is mine. It is done. I have spoken. Spirit performs it now. Again, I cast out fear with faith. There is no room for both. I expect the miraculous. I walk in divine assumption. I bless my life, and it overflows in perfect ways. Every delay is a divine setup. My good cannot be denied. What I lost returns multiplied. Spirit accounts for all. I give in truth, and it returns sevenfold. I am one with wealth, wisdom, and wonder. I speak only what is true of spirit, and it appears. I walk in perfect self-expression. Nothing can block what is mine. It is done. I have spoken. Spirit performs it now. Let your tone rise. Let your field shimmer. Let your breath carry command. One final time, for your cells, your path, your bank account, your future. It is done. I have spoken. Spirit performs it now. There is no higher truth, no stronger gate, no greater power, and now it is yours. Now, beloved soul of power, I leave you with one final charge, not to strive, but to declare, not to consume more teaching, but to speak your place in the temple of law. If you have felt the shift in your bones, in your breath, in your memory, then do not let it remain private. Let the law be written, not only on your heart, but in this space. Speak your law below. In the comments, type the one sentence that now defines your atmosphere. Type it boldly. Type it as covenant. Type it as law. This is not for performance. It is for permanence. The act of writing your word is itself a decree, a spiritual scroll, a public altar of declaration. You might choose, it is done, I have spoken, Spirit performs it now. Or, I walk in perfect self-expression. Nothing can block what is mine. Or any of the 10 laws that shook your spirit awake. And if this message has resonated, if your rhythm has returned, if your authority has been reawakened, subscribe. Not for more information, but for more alignment. This space is your altar. This channel is your reminder. Each video is a new gate into your divine rhythm. Do not wander alone. Walk with the word. Speak with the law. Stay where your truth is honored. Because you are not one who begs. You are not one who wonders. You are one who speaks, and creation listens. Now write your law. Speak your sentence. Seal your shift. And so it is.